36 down, 2 to go. That's where we're at, people. Please don't forget to like, comment on, and share the stream to your social media platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for alerts on new content. As always, we thank you very much indeed for your support. I say 36 and 2 left. Well, more accurately, 548 and possibly 2 left for Mr. West Ham, Mark Noble. It's almost time.
No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not
sure I am either.
I mean, listen, Joe broke the news to me today that she's still been trying to get me a ticket for the last week to go. She's been checking every day for me. And I, as I said to you guys last night, I got offered one. They wanted 300 quid for it. I told them where to place it.
Douglas.
As much as I'd love to see Mr. Nobe's final, I'm sorry, I can't afford to pay that kind of money, let alone, especially, anything 225 upwards. I mean, it's a lot of money, Rob, about 225 quid, isn't it? And
you mischievous bugger. You had to bring that up, didn't you? You had to bring up 225 quid.
Hold your horses, right? Hold your horses.
Go on.
I know you want to, and I'm going to anyway.
Right? Of course you will.
You weren't the only one. Let's be honest. Look at this bad boy. Right?
You got it with you.
Look at this bad boy.
Mate, that is mint.
Look at that.
Look at that. That is a beaut. That is a beaut.
Oh, Mr. Parks. Got that last night. And I only bring it up because, like you say, I'm a mischievous bastard. But there was the noble stuff was there, Rob, and if in hindsight I'd thought about it, I would have certainly saved a bit more money because I would have loved one of the noble ones. Just because, I mean, like I say, I'd love to go tomorrow. I'd love to be able to pay my respects to the man that's been he's figured a huge part of my life for my football club. And I know people might think that sounds stupid and he's not dead or any of the rest of it. But this guy, 18 years, I've been supporting West Ham for 42 if you want, when I was 2 years old, but 18 months. He's been a major part of following that football club. He's been captain for as long as I can remember, Rob. Club captain as long as I can remember, and here he is getting ready to bow out one last time at the London Stadium. It was. I think it was hard. It was hard watching our great side leave the bowling. I think it might just be as hard, if not harder, watching Mark Noble bow out tomorrow.
Yeah, I would still say that leaving the bowling was more emotion, in my opinion, because it was something that had been there for 102, 104. No, it was more than that, wasn't it? 112 years. 112 years of history, as opposed to what is essentially
but I wasn't
20-year career thereabouts.
I wasn't there for the best part of 60 years of that 100.
No, I know, but
it's little things. It is little things, but for me, the man is walking away from our stadium tomorrow for the last time as a player. There's nothing to say he won't come back. I mean, there's nothing to say he won't don a shirt and tie in 7, 8, 9 years time and be leading that side out as the manager. There's nothing to stop him, because I think that man has essentially the footballing world at his feet. He has some great contacts. Be it as a manager, be it as a technical director, a football director, call him what you will these days. Mark Noble's got the ability, not just because of his his contacts within the game, because let's be honest, he knows everyone in the game at the minute. He's been around for so ruddy long. But no, you go back to it. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that man to bow out. I'm really not.
Yeah, but I think, being completely honest about it, I think it's time. I say that as someone that saw him play quite recently, last week at Norwich. And all right, you could turn around and say it's Norwich, they're already relegated, whatever, but you looked and you could see he still got it. He had the game against, was it Arsenal? Did he play against Arsenal?
Yes.
There was a game he played quite recently where he started, and you looked at his performance and went, he doesn't look out of place there. But I'm a big believer that you should quit while the going's good. Do you know what I mean? Don't get out when you're at a point in your career where you stink the place out. Get out when you've still got a little bit left to offer. And that's where Mark Noble is, in my opinion. I think he's still got a little bit left to offer, but not too much. And I'm not entirely convinced that he could do it for another season. I think he knows. I think he knows his body. Yeah. He knows how he feels. I mean, listen, you and I were at that event, that we're going to give it a plug. E13 events. Brilliant event we was at last night in Romford, and Mr. Budden was there, and many more besides, such as Mark Ward, who was hosting the event and did an excellent job. What a character! Goodness me,
legend.
And he was interviewing Stuart Slater, Trevor Sinclair, and late substitute for Matty Etherington, who we hear his daughter's not very well, so we'd like to obviously wish the Etherington family well and hope that young Etherington, Matty Etherington's daughter, is on the mend soon. But the replacement for him was Matty Jarvis, who stepped in at the 11th hour and did a very fine job, it has to be said. But you, obviously, there was a Q&A question that was you put that ties into Mark Noble about how did you know it was time? And you made Trevor Sinclair cry, you bugger.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, it was the whole reason behind the question was because obviously Mark Noble is in that final year of at least playing for us anyway. I don't think he'll go on. I think he will retire. But I just asked the question about how they knew or what was it that happened that made it, that's it. And Jarvis explained, didn't he, about, he moved down the leagues, didn't he, and ended up being furloughed, which was quite amusing.
That was hilarious. I was like, what?
And he knew that, that was the end. And then you had Waldy turn around and say he knew his career was over when the old Bill come knocking on the door, which was fucking brilliant. And then, Sinks turned around and said, didn't he, after that, was it the 5th knee operation after his time at City? And he knew it was over, and he he took the kids and the missus away for a year or two, didn't they? He said they went to Dubai. And he was sitting on the stage. He welled up. Crying. He was very emotional. Tears in his eyes. And I went up to him afterwards when we took some pictures and got a few.
And you did have words with him. I sort of said that we were going, and you did have words with him about Declan.
Oh, I did have words with him about Declan Rice. Yes. I did call him a prick. On the stage. I thought going with a C word was a little bit too strong, so I actually went, Trev, stop being a prick and stop trying to sell Declan Rice on TalkSport. And he went, his exact words were, like, I don't want him to leave. You boys know I don't want him to leave, but it's part of my remit to get callers. So I take my hat off to him. But I said what I said. I was, going to have fucking words in his ear, all right. I did apologise to him for making him cry. So it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? But it was a great evening, great event. I got to speak to two of my childhood heroes, really, in Waldy and Stuart Slater, and come away with some digits, which is always quite cool. Kind of looking in my phone and seeing two of my young memory idols in my phone as a
mental, innit?
Kind of like, shit, son. But just talking with them at the end of the night, once everyone had kind of dissipated and there was only a few bodies left, and like you and I, Russ Budden got a lovely picture of me talking with
Charlie.
Talking with Stuart Slater on the other side of the room, and put a love heart around it and put it in our chat, which was quite amusing. And then just stood there talking to him about, my memories growing up and just how I wanted to be him in the playground. You know what I mean?
Yep.
When how are you going to be? I'm going to be Stuart Slater. That was me. That was me. And then Waldy at the end there, went up to these guys and said, "Look, can we?
What a character he is!
Can we get some pictures? Can we?
I'd love to go out for a beer with him.
I don't think I'll keep up. Like,
I'd have a go. I'd have a go.
I said, then I said goodbye to Jarvis and to Sinks, and then carried on talking. And Waldy was just amazing. Like, just absolutely, hasn't lost the accent, has he? You know what I mean? He literally, he is
feisty little Scouser.
He is as cockney as he is Scouser. Do you see? You know what I mean? When he was, the best part for me was when he shouted at Trevor Sinclair's missus for making too much noise without realising it was Trevor Sinclair's
Hey, you
missus.
over there in the corner. People have come here to listen to these blokes speak. So you lot shut the fuck up. And then he realises he's Trevor Sinclair's wife trying to get his attention. Do you want a beer, love? And he's like, sorry, I do apologise.
He said, didn't he, after the interval, he apologised to Sinks backstage. And that was another one, Rob, wasn't it? Just before they came back out for the question and answer session, went for a piss, standing there, wang out in the urinal, and there's fucking Slates one side of me and Waldy the other side. And I'm like, this is not how I envisioned,
innit?
When I was a kid playing football in the playground.
Brian Deere as well needs to get a mention.
Stag. And again, Rob, what a funny fucker. Like, what a funny bloke,
Sharp as a tack.
I mean, when you consider he's got to be in his 70s.
Oh, he's got to be in his 70s, easy.
It's all still there. He reminisced about, the games against Lausanne and the build up to the 65 Cup Winners' Cup game. And You know,
I especially like the story he said about, because he scored 5 goals against West Brom, which he dines out on, where he turned and he was doing an event with Carlton Cole, and he turned around and said at one point, he said, I don't mean to be funny, but I scored more goals in 20 minutes than you scored in a fucking season.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, I've got to say, I spent most of the night laughing. You know, the stories that the guys were saying, listening, you know, Wardy and Slates talk about, you know, John Lyle. Listen to Jarvo talk about, you know, Big Sam and stuff like that. It was just interesting to hear these guys' opinions. And I mean, we've got another one coming up. Hopefully, you should have got some money in your bank account for the ticket last night. So
Yes.
And I'll make sure once you've got the tickets for
the Dixie one.
The Dixie one.
That's 15 quid, by the way. E13 events. I'm giving them a shout out.
Julian Dix. Oh,
crazy, isn't it? Crazy.
Listen, if you and Budden thought I was bad meeting Stuart Slater last night, right?
Yeah, we saw you showing your knickers to him and all that. Come on. Giving him a come on.
Giving him all the old leg. I know. You wait till Julian Dix walks in the room in a couple of weeks' time. That man,
you're going to be strides down, aren't you?
look, right, there's a shirt and a picture behind me, for fuck's sake. I mean, he's the reason I wear number 3 on my shirt. He's the reason.
Yeah.
And hopefully, you know, going back to tomorrow's game without, you know, I don't want to come off piece too much. I wear number 3 because of this guy. I wear number 3 because of this guy behind me.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that there's going to be kids, I say kids growing up, but in 15, 20 years' time, that there's guys our age that are now in their, in their 20s, 20 to 30, that when they get to our age, 44, 156 like you are, that they'll be wearing 16 on the back of their shirt because that was noble. In 40 years' time, we'll have guys wearing 41 because of Declan Rice. Hopefully that sticks around for a bit longer. And I hope, and I mean this sincerely, is that I hope there are people out there, late teens, in their 20s, that Mark Noble has had the effect on, like Dixie, Wardy, Slater had on me, kind of growing up. You know what I mean? Like when you consider that maybe 10 years ago, when these guys in their 20s were like coming up into their 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 maybe, and they're playing football in the school playground or out with their mates, and they're aspiring to be a Mark Noble. I hope that Mark Noble, and I really do sincerely believe that Mark Noble has inspired, like I was inspired by the man behind me, that Mark Noble has inspired others in the same way,
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get on to matters regarding the match tomorrow, I'd like to, if I may, to you kind people watching either live or at a later stage, I am going to put something in the live chat for your attention, and I will get this up on a banner as well. Please consider supporting Iron Supporting Foods Banks. You mentioned Russ yesterday at the event, the E13 event, Duke, and he was there resplendent in his Iron Supporting Food Banks t-shirt, which I have to say was very fetching. It has to be said.
Young Mr. Cox has one as well. Young Jake,
he has,
over at West Ham Unofficial. I saw something on social media yesterday or this morning, and yeah, again, it's a fantastic charity to support. I've
sorry, you got rid of the banner.
Oh,
I'm giving them a plug, and you.
I was starring something. Sorry,
I know.
I do apologise.
Anyway, guys, Iron Supporting Food Banks, they're a charity that operate within and are struggling in this time where we're going through a cost of living crisis. Some of us are in more dire straits than others. I mean, I'm quite fortunate. Duke's quite fortunate that we need to tighten our belts in certain areas, but we can still afford to spend 225 on a signed Trevor Brooking and Billy Bonds 1980 FA Cup final shirt and then sneak it in and hope that the missus doesn't notice. Don't know who I'm talking about. Anyway, I didn't get in as much trouble as I thought. Anyway, but there are people that maybe are not as fortunate as Duke and I that are able to sort of like do crazy shit like that. And this is a charity that operates in the borough that West Ham United Football Club operate in to help families out. And you've got a Just Giving link there. I've put it in the live chat so you can reference it there as well. Please consider putting a few bob in the hat, because seriously, this is something that's going to get worse over the next 12 months. So this is a charity we at Fulsham are square 4 square behind. And Duke, I think I speak for you on that front.
Yeah, but I just want people not to think like some certain fuckwit MP. And I'll leave it there on that note.
Yeah.
If
we won't get too political.
If I start on that certain fuckwit MP, game over. We'll probably be banned from YouTube. So
leave it there. Leave it there.
Just Google food banks and Parliament, and you'll find out what I'm on about.
Google is your friend. Right. Okay. Now, normally, you'll have to forgive me, ladies and gentlemen. Normally, I do my predictions on the players and of both teams and yada, 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 and lots of other things. I'll be honest with you. I've had a bit of a interesting week, it has to be said. I haven't had the time, and if I'm being completely honest with you, I haven't really had the inclination to do all of that. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to share this with you, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just press that button there. This is from the website Who Scored, and this is their prediction on the 11s that will take place, which probably isn't going to be a 2 million miles away from the truth. And you guys in the live chat, if you want to get your starting 11 for West Ham and or Manchester City in their formations, personnel, whatever, and let us know your thoughts. But this is what they've gone with. For West Ham, 4-2-3-1 will be the formation. Fabianski between the sticks. Back four will be from left to right. Cresswell, Zuma, Dawson, Kufal. The double pivot, Rice, the captain, and Souček. Fornals left, Bowen right. Noble in the number 10 position, they think. With Antonio as the number 9. Duke, what do you make of that?
No disrespect to the great man himself, but I'd rather see him in goal than in the number 10 spot.
He played number 10 after lockdown, though, didn't he?
No, he did, yes. And that was when every player was out of shape and every player didn't have a fucking clue what was going on. And Mark Noble got away with playing in the 10 role. No disrespect to Nobes. He ain't a fucking 10. He's about as much a 10 as he's a keeper. Let's not mess around. I can see. If I'm honest, I mean, listen, we know this game it's important, as Charlie says. Charlie says it's an important game.
Yep.
But
I don't think that Noble starts either.
It's a throwaway game as well. You've got to remember this. It is a throwaway game.
It's kind of a free hit, isn't it?
As much as it is an important game, it's that kind of right slap bang down the centre, down the centre aisle. It's on one hand, if we win this and then beat Brighton, then or even if we don't, let me rephrase that. If we don't lose this and beat Brighton, then if United lose, we are guaranteed
back in the
Europa League because of the extra points. Now, if we win this, we beat Brighton, we then are automatically above United for Europa League again by way of goal difference.
Goal difference is far better, isn't it?
Unless it's something like an 11-goal swing over the next 2 games. Now,
not happening.
But then it is also a throwaway game where you kind of go, well, we don't have to win. We don't have to win. As long as we go and beat Brighton on the last day of the season and Man U don't win, then we're guaranteed Europa League. And either way, we're pretty much guaranteed nailed on for conference and Europe football. So it's one of them. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't see him starting. I'm looking at that and I'm going, well, yes in the back four and keeper. Souček and Rice, yes. Fornals, I agree with what Charlie says about.
Yeah.
Form-wise should be dropped, but he won't.
And he'll probably get away with it because, as Joan alluded to, Ben Rama's very unlikely to be featuring, I think.
He's injured. So, yeah, you're looking at things, Rob, and I'm kind of going, well, in the grand scheme of things, do I want to see him start and come off after 16 minutes? Or do I want to see...
No.
Or, as you said, going off on 74, which is 16 minutes to go.
Yep.
I mean, listen... He's not pretentious, Mr. Noble.
He's got no. He doesn't give a shit whether he plays or not. I wouldn't. Well, not he doesn't give a shit. But
he would rather us win than put any sentiment for him first. That's Noble all over. But then
that's a proper leader.
Yes, but then also I'm not ready to give up saying goodbye when that prick don't come onto the pitch. During this game, like I've already got Joe covering me from 2:00 tomorrow for about 4 hours because I want to watch it all. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him go. Like I say, he's been such a big part of my life, but it's time. I'd bring him. I'd start him and take him off on 16 minutes. I would.
No.
That'd be me.
Yeah, but if you end up in a situation where later in the game someone gets injured,
don't give a shit.
You've used a cheap
don't
sub.
Get injured. Don't get injured then.
No, no, and I don't believe for 1 minute that Mark Noble's going to do a John Terry. I just don't think he's that much of a full kit wanker.
There it is. No, he has no. There's no pretentiousness about him.
Yeah,
you know, he's like you said, he's a team player. He's a club man, and he will do what the club needs him to do. And if that means he doesn't start tomorrow, then he doesn't start tomorrow. If that means he doesn't get on the pitch in a game time tomorrow because, well, we don't need you to, Mark. We need something else. Then Mark will understand that. And don't get me wrong, we fucking won't as fans. God no, there'll be a lack of forgiveness for Moyes across the board if it's 8 minutes to go and he decides that he's going to throw on 2 attackers instead of bringing Noble on. There'll be a fucking uproar that Noble didn't go on the pitch. But again,
Noble himself won't give a monkeys about that though.
No, he won't.
He won't.
No, but like,
if by virtue of Mark Noble not being brought on and someone else being brought on instead, which allows us to at least get a point, job done.
Yeah,
Mark Noble, the West Ham fan, won't be bothered about that. Mark Noble, the West Ham fan, will be absolutely ecstatic that we've got a point against the defending champions and probably the champions elect.
Yeah, I mean, listen. He comes on 74 minutes, banging. He goes off on 16 minutes, banging. It's one of them, Rob, isn't it? It is one of them. Like
I prefer the former than the latter, to be honest.
No, and that's fine. Played the last 16 minutes of his home game career. That'll be it's a banging little nod to the shirt number that he's worn for such a long fucking time.
Yeah. Let's just have a look also at who scored suspect will be the Manchester City team.
I don't want to because it scares me.
Well, yeah, it does. I mean, that's the funny thing. A lot of people have been turning around to me and saying, but Man City have got injury doubts over this player, that player, the other player. And I'm sitting there going, you do realise what their substitutes bench looks like. It's not exactly like ours. Where Moyes looks at it and goes, well, I ain't really got a lot there. I mean, Pep Guardiola looks and he goes, well, I got him, I got him, I got him, I got him. So let's have a look here. So Ederson in goal, 4-3-3 formation, left to right, Zinchenko, Ake, Rodri, Cancelo. Midfield 3, De Bruyne, Silva, and Gundogan. And up top, Foden left, Mahrez right, and Sterling through the middle. I mean, seriously?
But then Okay, let's look at this genuinely. Okay, let's put our heads on. Okay, let's put our heads on. Sterling, Foden, and Mahrez against Zuma, Dawson, Souček, and Rice. Well, they're going to get fucking battered, the three of them. Like
You say that, but their mobility.
Listen, their mobility is good, but mate, they're running into fucking walls. Those four players that we've just mentioned are brick fucking walls. And I'd love to see Sterling try and run straight into Zuma. Zuma will just absolutely flatten the poor prick. You know, and I'm looking at it and I'm kind of going, well, you know, yes, they're off the ball mobility. You know, if they try to run at the players, they're going to get hurt. If they try and run in behind them, we might be in trouble.
Yeah.
But you run at them and you're going to get flattened. You know, I look at Antonio, and if I were him, I'd evil bastard dog. I tell ya, anyone watching, never touch Gates' dog. Christ almighty, the prick will rip your fingers off.
It's only a French bulldog as well.
It's a fucking dinosaur. It's a T-Rex.
Is she being a dick? So my son's turned up with his girlfriend, and she's going for my son's girlfriend. Hello, Olivia.
Who is it?
Who's who? I'm doing a live stream at the minute. Is that all right?
Hi, Olivia.
Okay. Hello, Luke.
You know, I've only been doing this channel for what?
Is that Owen?
You know? Yeah,
is
that's
that
Owen.
Owen's girlfriend.
Yeah.
What's wrong with her?
To be no. To be fair, she's a nice girl. In fairness, I look at her and I look at him and I think, what?
Yeah,
the hell
that's
are
what
you doing with him?
that's what I was saying. I mean, unless
Poor girl.
Unless he's like, he ain't rich, so unless he's large.
Mind you, he is long in the shower, if you know what I mean.
Oh, that's what I was asking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Either that or there's something going wrong up there. She's a couple of sandwiches short of a picnic. Anyway, enough of battering poor. Enough of battering poor Owen. I mean, poor son don't even know what I'm saying.
No, I know.
It's great. Listen, it don't matter. Whatever team they put out scares the piss out of me. I can't. I mean, I look at the back line and I go, well, okay, God, all right, is there a weak link? But fuck me, he ain't weak, is he? You know what I mean?
No.
He's shit. But listen, anything can happen in the next half an hour. As Joan, I think we were talking tackle.
Yes. That's all I'm saying.
I think we can beat them. I think we can. I don't think we will, but I think we can. It'll be interesting. It will be interesting.
There's a head-to-head record in the Premier League era. We've played 41 times against each other. We have 9 wins. They've got 25. 7 wins at home, and they have 8 wins away with 7 draws. Does
that include League Cup, FA Cup, or is that
this is purely Premier League. This is Premier League history, yeah.
I'll tell you what, the overall stats don't give me too much confidence, but the home and away kind of records make me sit up and go, well,
a bad record against them
again,
home,
mate.
but
Listen, they're beatable. They're beatable. You know, I'm not being funny. We watched Swansea a couple of seasons go up to the Etihad and pick up an absolutely unbelievable win. Okay, we've gone to the Etihad in the last few years, and in the last decade, we had Victor Moses bang one in, and we beat them. You know, they're beatable. They're beatable. They're fallible because they think they're infallible. Do you see what I mean? Like, that's going to be the chink in their armour.
Is it going to be that there may be their manager, like what I think happened in the second leg against Real Madrid, where he's almost too clever for his own good? You know, he'll make a substitution or he'll make a tactical move where he thinks, aha, I've got you, Mr. Moyes, and it all blows up in his face.
And then West Ham get a 92nd minute penalty and Mark Noble takes it and we beat them 2-1 and Mark Noble scores in his last game at the London Stadium to help us win 2-1. Mate, I was laying back just picturing that in my mind, just how good that would be.
Penalty. Top bin,
92nd minute penalty. Mark Noble's last kick at the London Stadium. 2-1 West Ham. Mate, I won't lie. Becoming slightly aroused at the thought.
Steady. Our last meeting at London Stadium. Let me just wind back. It's they say here Man.City it's Man.City got a 1-1 draw. That was the game where Antonio got like a sort of bicycle kick, didn't he?
Yeah, let's not talk about that one. Let's talk about the League Cup when we beat them on penalties. Last game,
Well,
last game at the London Stadium when we played them. I mean, we beat them on penalties.
Yeah.
By the way, Dawson, penalty.
Yes.
Look, go out there.
Won't go to penalties tomorrow, though, Duke. Sorry.
No, I know. Go out there, and just play. Play with the freedom that comes from 7th place. Play with the freedom that knowing that we only need 1 point from the next 2 games to guarantee European football next season. Play with that freedom.
Yeah, I mean, one point would put it. I mean, all right, mathematically, it's not beyond Wolves because obviously, if they win both of their remaining games, we get 1 point tomorrow and get beat by Brighton and Hove Albion. It comes down to goal difference. But look at the goal difference. We're on plus 11. They're on -3. It's like, listen, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It takes
a 15-goal swing. So if we pick up a draw against Brighton and we lose 8-0 tomorrow, fucker, I've said it. Touch wood.
Shut up.
And then Brighton over the course of their Wolves over the course of their 2 games score 7, win 7-0. It's not going to happen. I know, but that's the only way.
Do you know who Wolves have got?
Yeah, I know. They're fucked.
Well, they're going to beat Norwich. I'm not being funny. Norwich are down
mate,
and they're out.
Don't even.
But they're not going to go to Anfield against a Liverpool team that may conceivably need 3 points to win or at least stay in contention for the title. They're not going to go to Anfield and get 3 points there. They're just not.
No. But then are we going to be able to do what we need to do in the grand scheme of things? Hi, Bex.
Indeed,
yes,
Trini.
We are. Yes, we are, because we are fucking massive. We're going to do what we need to do. I reckon we can still do what we need to do to claim 6th spot.
I think 6 is doable, but I'm not expecting it. And I'm perfectly comfortable with Conference League football. I'm absolutely fine with it.
I'm doable. Doesn't mean that anyone wants it. Right? I'm doable, but no one wants it. Conference League is doable. No one wants it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like you turned around last season. Correct me if I'm wrong, because you turned around and said that there was a certain train of thought where you said, in a funny sort of way, you would have preferred to be qualifying for the Conference League, so that we could turn around and say we were the first team to have our name etched on it. Now, okay, we're not going to be the first team to be etched on it. We could be the first English/British team etched on it if we get into the Conference League for next season. So why not?
I mean, listen, I did say I did take the inaugural title would have been amazing with our name on it. Don't get me wrong. It was season. What a season. Look at that table. Right. I know Wardy said last night that only finishing the position higher than you finished the season before is acceptable for progression. I think they were close enough to his words.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care if we don't get that 6th place and we finish 7th. I don't care if we finish 7th, qualify for Europa League. I still see this season as progression because, as I've said many times already, we've competed on 4 fronts, and we have competed on 4 fronts. We haven't just turned up and delivered what we needed to get by. We've competed on 4 fronts. We got to the quarterfinal of the Carabao Cup. We got to the semi-final of the Europa League. We got to the the last 16 of the FA Cup, and we are currently 7th in the Premier League. That's progression. Whether or not we finished lower than we did last season,
We're competitive.
It's still progression, Rob. We've competed on 4 fronts, and
Agreed. With a small squad.
For me, if I may, without winning anything, I still think we've competed successfully on 4 fronts. You know, despite the fact that we're going to finish a place lower in the league, despite the fact that we didn't win a trophy, I still think we've successfully competed on 4 fronts. So, progression. I feel progression is there, and you know, yes, we've offered an 8-year deal, 83 million quid across the course of 8 years to Deck. I think that's just the board's way of saying, well, he didn't want to sign.
Quite ludicrous offer, in my opinion.
But we don't know yet, so let's not get carried away.
Yeah. But that's the Premier League table. So I've got a couple of little nuggets for you, ladies and gentlemen. Just little insights that I've got in front of me for your delectation. West Ham are winless in 12 Premier League games against Manchester City, where we have drawn 2 and lost 10. This has been since the 2-1 win at the Etihad in September 2015. Now, straight away, you look at that and go, not good.
What are you looking at? Because I've still got the table on the screen.
I know you are.
Oh, right. Okay.
I haven't got this up. You can still have the... Yeah,
Can't get
I'm just
it up,
reading this off another... Yeah, no, not tonight, dear.
Banging.
But that first that doesn't go in our favour, Duke. Give me a reason to be positive.
We're West Ham and we're massive.
Okay.
And we've shown we can compete at the London Stadium with those guys in that top 4.
Yeah.
You know, we beat Liverpool at home. We beat Chelsea at home. We beat United. We beat City in the cup, albeit on penalties. What more do you want to be? You know, what more do you need laid in your lap to feel confident? You know, the confidence comes from
Alfie Haaland playing, not Alfie Haaland, Erling Haaland playing up front would be nice. Oh no, hang on, he's going there as well.
Listen, Erling Haaland next season is going to score 35 goals, and for any team outside of the top 7, any team outside the top 1, it's going to be a damage limitation exercise. I promise you now. Outside of them, every team will be coming up against City, especially at the Etihad, and that includes Liverpool, that includes Arsenal, Man U, Chelsea, Spuds, us, top 7 teams. It'll be damage limitation because fuck me, that guy is amazing. And the fact that Dortmund have already got lined up his replacement in Karim Adeyemi, who I want at West Ham.
I've heard a whisper someone else might be going there as well.
Not Florian Wirtz. Don't, please. Jesse
No, this is slightly more, I don't know, embarrassing, possibly. Sebastian Haller's name's been mentioned. Yeah. I was listening to TalkSport on the way home, and Sebastian Haller is in the frame to be Erling Haaland's replacement at Borussia Dortmund.
You know what? Good luck to him.
Good luck. Absolutely.
It didn't work at our club, right?
Yep.
It didn't work at our club.
Well, I would say it didn't work at our club basically when Moyes walked through the door.
But
that's not a criticism of Moyes. It's not a criticism of Haller. It's just a fact.
Moyes has a way he wants to play, and he's insistent on playing it. And unfortunately, Haller couldn't adapt. Allah say Benrahma can't adapt to the way. I couldn't leave it alone. Even though I listened, he
had to go in 2-footed, didn't you?
He's failed to adapt to a Moyes way, and unfortunately, that's what cost Sebastian Haller his West Ham career. He's gone to Ajax, and Jesus Christ, has torn up the rule book and gone, I do what I want. I do what I want. And good luck to him. If he gets the move to Dortmund, it's 1-0.
Go on, Forrest.
Sorry, it's 1-0. I learned that from doing my posts on Facebook. I look like a prat. I got told that as well.
What else is new?
No, I got told that. Someone wrote on a comment. It's only 1 hour in Nottingham Forest.
Okay.
No, listen.
Anyway, I've got a couple more factoids to get out of the way.
Yeah, go on, because I lost train of thought.
So after winning their first 5 games against West Ham at the London Stadium in all competitions where they scored 22 goals and conceded 1, Manchester City are winless in their last 2 visits with 2 draws. This includes a goalless draw and the eventual penalty shootout defeat in the League Cup earlier this season. Now, that's something that I can possibly cling to for a little bit of positivity.
Listen, be positive. Stop trying to find things to cling to. Stop being.
I'm just reading.
Being Leonardo DiCaprio at the end of Titanic, right? Because I won't let you on the wardrobe door. Right? I won't let you on the wardrobe door. Listen, don't be sorry to me. I'm only pulling it out because I got ripped the shit out of Sharky. All right, I got
pulling it out
to the point I deleted the post because I felt embarrassed. Right? Just letting you know.
Factoid number 3.
Yeah.
We have won our last Premier League match against the league leaders when we defeated Chelsea 3-2 in December. There you go. But we've not won consecutive such games since doing the double over Manchester United in 2006-07, whilst we've not beaten 2 different teams at the top of the table in a campaign since 1982-83, when the 2 teams were Liverpool and Manchester United.
Listen. Stats don't mean nothing to me about tomorrow.
They're interesting to talk about.
No. And I'll tell you why it means nothing. Because Joan nailed it. Joan absolutely nailed it. Oh, fuck my life, this computer. I'll get there in a minute, Joan. Joan's right. We will be the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th,
but could the emotion
16th man tomorrow?
Because sometimes the emotion could
you see why
be
I went
an anchor.
What'd you call me?
I said sometimes the emotion can be an anchor.
No, I mean, listen, I don't think it will. I think we will. Listen, I wish I could be there. I wish. Well, I'd sell one of my kidneys. Sorry, I meant kidneys, not one of.
No, I'm fairly sure you told me you'd sell both your kids yesterday.
Oh, listen, if I could be there tomorrow, I'd be there tomorrow. I might even hire a plane to fly over and parachute in.
In fact, I think you even turned around and said you'd actually have another kid and sell that as well.
I actually said I'd sell myself. I wouldn't get a lot. No. I think I had a brass in the pub earlier.
Say that again?
I think I had a brass in the pub earlier.
Oh, did you?
Mm.
Oh, dear.
She was sidling up, but literally we just opened. She was waiting outside. She asked to use the phone charger, and then next thing I know, she was sidling up to all the older men in the pub. And I was like, she was talking to one, and then he left, so she sidled up to someone else. She left, and I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, seriously. But she wasn't doing anything that was out of order, so I couldn't go, oi, love, you a pros? I go, you know what I mean? I couldn't do it. So, yeah, we were interesting. Oh, dear. Right. Matey, you might have to finish this up on your own.
Okay, I've got 2 more factoids. Got 2 more factoids.
Go on, quick.
Manchester City lost their final away league game last season, going down 3-2 at Brighton. They've not done so in consecutive campaigns since a run of 4 between 2005-06 season to 2008-09 season. And factoid number 5 is we have scored in all 18 of our Premier League home games this season. Only twice have we managed to score in 100% of our home games across an entire league season, doing so in 1980-81, which was in the second tier of English football, but also going a little bit further back before my time. Yes, it was, Duke, in 1926-27, and that was in the top flight.
You were 5.
Shut up.
Sorry.
Shut up. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do one final little bit before you bugger off, and it's really simple. That one. And you guys in the live chat get involved with this. Give me a score prediction, Duke. What's happening?
Before I run off and go serve these 200 people that have just walked in the pub, holy shit. I'm going to go, listen, my head says 2-1 West Ham.
Your head says that.
My heart says 1-1.
You got that the right way round?
Yep. I think we can win it, but
Okay.
my heart is saying it's going to be a draw. We're not. That's where I'm at. My head says you've got everything in it to win it. Like, we can do this, but my heart actually says, you know what, we might come unstuck and it'll be a 1-1 draw. But I think we can get a 1-1 draw. I really do believe, hand on heart, 1-1 draw. But I also think we've got enough in us to win it.
Do you know what? Everybody's sort of going 2-1. Lawrence has gone 2-1 West Ham. Jones gone 2-1 West Ham. Rebecca's gone 1-1. I'm probably going to come across as a right cock. My head says we're going to get beat. My head says we're going to get beat 3-1.
I'll tell you what then. Right. So what we were saying was, he can fuck off, seeing as we're all behind this now. We're behind our club. He's just a party pooper, miserable sod. He's got to worry about trying to get that 225 quid back that he paid on a shirt. You know, he's got to do a lot of favours for the missus, I reckon. A lot of favours for the missus to be able to earn that money back. And I'm not talking about washing up or doing the washing, people. I am not talking about Diane, right, you're kicked out and all. You can piss off, right? Can I where's the button? Hang on. Where is it? I need to hang on.
She said 1-0 West Ham, you div.
Oh, she put 1-0 West Ham. She nearly went in the timeout, Rob. I saw 1-0, and I'm
going to bug her off.
I nearly put her in. I nearly put her in a timeout. I did. It nearly happened. But the fact that she says a noble pen as part of her thing, we love Diane now. And Diane, he will do whatever.
That is not what you said last night.
No, I called her a prick. But
you did.
Diane, he will do whatever you want him to do. Not just around the house, but also in the bedroom. I've heard
that'll be roll over, fart, and go to sleep then.
I've heard Rob's into pegging. Just saying.
Easy. Now, my head's, look, cards on the table. My head says they're going to beat us, and they should. Let's be completely honest about this, dude. They should beat us. So my head says we're going to lose 3-1. My heart says something different. My heart says we're going to be 1-0 down. 74th minute, Mark Noble comes onto a guard of honour.
You're turning me on.
Yeah? Mark Noble comes onto a guard of honour. Mark Noble starts spraying passes around. Mark Noble
I wonder what you're going to say then.
Rolling back the years for the last 16 minutes of his Premier League home performance in front of the fans.
Please,
and
God.
Then in the final minute, deep into injury time, Michael Antonio is fouled in the box. The referee blows his whistle. And I didn't actually say this, and I know I probably should have done. The referee is Anthony Taylor. Assistants, fourth officials, blah, blah, blah. They're all there. Anthony Taylor will blow the whistle. He will point to the spot. He might go over at the screen, but I doubt it. Penalties given. And who do you think stepping up? That's right. David Moyes. No. Mark Noble steps up. He sends Edison the wrong way. He slots it calmly into the back of the onion bag. We get a point. And we go to Brighton and hopefully possibly getting Europa League football, but with the very least we've got Conference League football by virtue of that penalty. That's what my heart says. But as I say, my head says something different.
Listen, I just show up, boys. For his last game, just don't let it be an absolute capitulation. Don't. I'll tell you, don't let it be an absolute capitulation. Don't get fucking embarrassed out there. And also on the flip side to that, I kind of hope Man City realise just how, because goal difference doesn't make a difference to them, whether they win or not. Just don't embarrass us for Noble's last game. You know what I mean? If you go 2-0 up and it don't look like we're doing anything else, don't be a bunch of cunts and try and make it 7-8-9. Don't do that. Go 2-0, and if you're in control and it don't look like we're doing nothing, just take your foot off the gas and leave it alone. like knock the ball around 487 passes in the last 87 minutes. We don't care. Just don't embarrass us on Noble's last game. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, but they've got a job to do, and
then
sporting
do the
integrity
job,
and all that.
just, do the job. I've got no qualms with doing the job, right? But you ain't got to go and turn it in 6 or 7.
I knew you were getting uncomfortable.
Don't
I
go
thought,
turn
no,
it
I'm going
in
to leave
6
him.
or 7-0. You know what I mean? So let's not fuck about.
Yeah, fair enough. Any final words before we knock it on the head and you go and help your good lady out?
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. It's a good game tomorrow. For everyone going, please do me a favour. Every single person that's going tomorrow, I want you to sing just that 1 decibel louder for me. Just make as much noise as you can. I can't be there. I really wish I could. I'm not quite heartbroken, but I'm bloody close to the fact that I can't be there for it. I've not been to many of Mark Noble's games throughout his West Ham career. Let's not lie. I've run pubs for a lot of it, and it's been very difficult for me to be able to go. So it's, those of you that have been there for Mark Noble's career as a West Ham fan, you deserve to be in that stadium to say your goodbyes. I'll do mine from home, just like I've watched most of his career on telly, which, like I say, no fault of my own. It was the job that I chose to do, and so be it. So just sing extra loud for me, guys. Make us proud. The boys will go out there and try and do a job. But I'm still not ready for him to call it a day, Rob. I'm not. And I'm getting quite emotional here. I'm not there. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to feel knowing that we're not going to be lining up with Mark Noble in that side next season. I know he's done. I know it wouldn't be fair for him to carry on, but Mark Noble and 16 have been an integral part of this club for almost 2 fucking decades now. That we're about to start the next 2 decades next season without him being part of it, and that's hard to take. That's a yeah. I'm sinking up here, mate. I'm not.
I think the only thing I can say, Duke, to try and give you some sort of solace, because I'm pretty much where you're at, but. And I said this after we got beat by Frankfurt and our European adventure came to an end. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened.
Yeah.
And that's where I'll end it.
And
please don't forget to like, comment on, and share this stream to your social media platforms, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you hit that bell icon for alerts on new content as and when we upload it to the channel. As always, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much indeed for your support in this endeavor. Don't talk to me. Oh, he will be. He will be.
Yeah, we're fucking massive, and you know what? So's Mark Noble. Mark Noble is fucking massive.
Come on, you Irons.